couple of weeks ago, I was in Nusa Dua filming, and I got stopped by the police for quite a while actually. And there's a bit of a funny story behind it. I'm just going to go and drop in and have a coffee and see what's going on today here in Sanur. Thinking about going up, see if I can walk up to Padangalak as well. But I want to tell you about this being detained by the police thing. It was pretty weird, really. Like pretty weird. Interesting as well. This is Nyoman coffee. I've actually never been here before, even though I know about it. So here's my double cappuccino. Got a bit of a biscuit on the side. Let's check it out. It's good.
Well, I just bring home, put in my garden. Yeah. Just mix with the skin.
That's a good strong coffee. Hot, strong coffee. So if you like your coffee hot and strong, that is a good one. This is more of like an old school coffee shop. So if you sort of remember Bali in the old days when there wasn't a lot of air conditioning around, this is sort of what you used to get all the time. You know, so if you sort of want to reminisce about that sort of time, I guess, in Bali, this is the sort of place to come because it's perfect for that. It's like a hangout place where, you know, just go and have a coffee. You can even get breakfast here as well. And you're not sort of stuck in the AC all day. The owner of this place is called Nyoman, and he is the guy that's behind the counter here making these great coffees every morning in this beautiful little, well, it's just a little Kedai coffee. Kedai coffee.
Yeah.
Beautiful. How long have you been here for, Nyoman?
So 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And did you own this land?
No, this is my father's property.
Oh, so is there a house behind here as well?
Yeah,
oh,
right. It's my house.
Wow. And what sort of gave you the idea to build a coffee shop?
So before I was working in coffee shop.
Yeah. Oh.
I would like to have my own coffee shop.
Yeah.
So.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then that's my dream before, but now it's true.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love this place. I love the traditional feel.
Simple, small and simple.
Yeah. And I think people like that here in Sanur. I think that's really good.
So we have a lot of customers here from Australians.
Yeah, for sure. Mm. Okay, yeah, thank you, Pak.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So this is Nyoman Kedai Kopi. Thank you, yeah. And the good thing about it is, and I know a lot of people are going to love it, it's got a feel about it. And as we know, that really means a lot when you go and have something to eat or drink. The feel of a place matters just as much as the taste, and the feel of that place is just so authentic and real. And the guy that runs the place is such a nice guy, and sitting down there to have a coffee and a chat with the guy is just something really nice to do in Bali. And I know a lot of people who come to Sanur in particular do want that, and they've got it there in spades. A really good place to drop by. It's on Jalan Pantai Karang, so that's the beach road that goes down to Pantai Karang, not far from the main road, Jalan Danau Tumblingan. So over here is the entrance gate to Pantai Karang. But you can see there it says Setra Santrian. Yeah, Setra is cemetery here in Bali, and this is where obviously the funerals are held sometimes for Desa Adat Intaran, which is what covers this area of Sanur. They do have another funeral ground, and they sort of rotate it so you don't get everyone coming down here for funerals all the time. They share it around a little bit. It normally happens over there. More common on weekends, like on a Saturday, than it is during the week, but it can happen any day of the week. I've seen it on all sorts of days down here. Really good thing to sort of check out if you're in the area. If you walk past and they've got something going on, make sure you have a look because it's pretty interesting. Let's get back to the story about the police. It's pretty bad. Like, I've ridden motorbikes in Indonesia for a long time now. I've got a proper license, and you know, I always wear a helmet, or almost always wear a helmet. Like, I'm pretty good when it comes to the rules, and I know that the police will pick you up for little infractions. So you just got to be a little bit careful and make sure you sort of stick within the rules. I know a lot of people who come here for the first time, a lot of those youngsters come here and think there's no rules in Bali, and they sort of nick around without helmets on and without a license and all that sort of stuff and run amok. And when they get picked up, they're shocked. It happens all the time here. Well, it happened to me when I was coming back from Nusa Dua. So I'd finished wrapping up the video, and I was feeling pretty good about what I'd done that day. And I got to an intersection, and I pulled to the front of the line of cars. So there's a line of cars, and normally on a motorbike, you just scoot between them, get to the front and just stick behind the line. And I was there with a few, there was only actually one other bike that was going straight. I was there with a few other bikes, some were going left, some were going straight. And, hello!
No. We watch you all the time.
Yeah. What's your name?
So helpful. Brett and Tina.
Brett and Tina. Oh, nice to meet you guys.
You as well.
Yeah, what are you doing here? Just a holiday to Sanur?
We're always watching you on YouTube.
Yeah. No time for holiday, watching YouTube too much.
That's right. No, we love your stuff.
Thank you very much. Are you just in
So informative. Yeah.
Thank you. Are you just in Sanur
we
this
are.
time? Yeah.
we
It's a
are.
good place, isn't it?
We come and go quite frequently.
Do ya?
I think hoping to stay longer.
Oh, really? You want to sort of do longer stints?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Where are you from?
From Perth.
Perth. Oh, easy for you then.
It is 3
Just
hours 20. Yeah.
Nick back and forth, easy. Yeah.
We do.
Do you do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're staying in obviously hotels now, are you?
That's right. We've got a little place, just a little room with friends.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And if you were going to stay here a little bit longer, would you look for something different, or would that be enough?
Probably look for something a bit bigger with
Yeah.
a pool and that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we have access to a pool, but it's not readily available, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's up the street. Up the street.
Yeah.
What I do like is when you do feeds, I've got to tell you this, when you do feeds with your coffee in little different coffee places. and all that.
We actually look for them.
Yeah. I've just had a coffee and I'm going to get another one now.
All right.
Like, I mean, it's sort of the anchor point of my day. I sort of pop between places like that.
Okay.
And while I'm in between them, I just have a yarn to people like yourselves.
Well, we stay just around Lutu's.
Yes.
And Lutu's needs a big plug. And they're
Yeah, I know Lutu's. I know. The good thing about Lutu's is old school, yeah?
It
old,
is, yes.
yeah, exactly. I do like the old school places as well.
It's really good.
All right, thanks,
Well,
guys.
Lovely to
See you
meet you,
later.
Adam.
Nice,
Yeah, you as
nice to
well,
meet you
so
too.
please.
All right,
Love your
see you.
work. Okay.
Thank you, yeah. All right, let's get back to the story. So I pulled up behind the line, a few other motorbikes there, and the lights in Indonesia, before they go green, they go orange. So they're red, and then they go orange, and then you go. But normally what happens is, because you've got cars behind you who beep you, as soon as those lights turn orange, you shoot off as fast as you can, so you don't get the cars behind you beeping you, thinking that you might not have seen the orange coming. So anyway, me and another guy, so a local dude with a passenger on, saw the lights go orange, and we shot off. And then as we're halfway through the intersection, the lights went off completely. So we both stopped, and then we saw the traffic from the other side turning in front of us, which means that our lights had malfunctioned somehow, and they were able to go. And then all of a sudden, our lights went red. So, this is a bit weird. So we were stuck in the middle of the intersection, and the guy next to me, the local guy, thought it was a good idea to start reversing back the bike. So I followed him backwards, but it could look bad if you didn't see what we saw. It could look bad. It looked like you're like trying to run the red light. That's what it looked like. But you know, there's a police officer on the side of the road that couldn't see our lights, that saw us, and he charged over and put his hands on our bikes, both of us, and there's another police officer on a different side of the road, and they stopped us. And they didn't just stop us, they pulled us to the side of the road, and one of the guys was pretty, well, I'll say aggressive. Yeah, he was pretty aggressive. Well, he wasn't being very pleasant, because he thought I was just some, foreigner breaking the rules and disrespecting the country. And you know what felt really terrible about it? I hadn't done anything wrong. The traffic lights had malfunctioned, but I felt like I was being treated like a criminal. And for someone who generally tries to do the right thing and respect the local culture all the time, I felt a bit offended, to be honest. I felt tersinggung. That's a good word. Get that one down. Tersinggung. I felt offended by it, which is strange. It's like a really odd feeling that I'd never really experienced before, because I actually have never received a fine in Indonesia in all my time being here. Never. I've never received a fine, and it was awkward. And the guy, I'm trying to explain to the guy, like, I can speak Indonesian. I'm trying to explain to the guy what happened, and he thought I was lying. In the end, the other two guys who had been stopped by the other police officer and were being interrogated, they were let go, and they wheeled, because they couldn't get their bike started again, like they had to push start it, they wheeled it towards where I was, and I'd been there already like nearly 5 minutes. They wheeled it towards there, and the police officer shouted over to the guys, did those did those traffic lights malfunction? And the guy said no. Like, the guy said no. I said, hang on. They went, and I explained, no, they went orange, then went blank, and then went red. He goes, oh, yeah. And then he explained to the police officer. Maybe he didn't understand what the police officer said, but I felt like I was going to get done for something I didn't even do. Like, I can accept getting fines and stuff like that. What I said to the police officer, I said, it's okay, just fine me. There's no problem. Like, I wasn't going to pay a bribe, that's for sure. I was just going to take a fine and then, you know, go through the normal procedure, go to the courthouse and pay the fine or whatever. Like, sometimes you get done for stuff that you didn't really do, but that's just life, isn't it? And in the end, the officer, with a really sour look on his face, said, you can go. And I just felt like, I felt terrible. I felt like a criminal, like yeah, I don't know. It's just a little bit disappointing that when you are genuinely trying to do the right thing, that if you get done for something like that, it feels pretty bad, you know? So that's the sort of story about how I got stopped by the police and sort of held for a little while there. Never really happened before like that, honestly. Well, never had. I mean, I've been stopped a lot by police over the years, checking for licenses and all that sort of stuff, and I've always passed those with no problems. It was just this time they were trying to sort of ping one on me, and I reckon that was a bit rough. Woke up this morning, I was making a coffee, and I had a funny little incident happen. So I have this instant coffee in the mornings, just to get me sort of started in the day, and I boiled the kettle, and then I got the kettle out after it had boiled. I was just about to pour it, like just like that. And you know when you pour a kettle like that, there's like a puff of steam that comes out the chute. And as that happened, a bug flew through the steam that was coming out of the chute of the kettle, and obviously scalded it, and it dropped into my coffee. Just as I was pouring. I just poured the whole lot in. I just stared at it. And I thought, you know what? I don't care, I'm gonna eat it. Like, I don't care. Like, I've got no time to go and make a new coffee because a little tiny bug, like it wasn't like a cockroach or something like that. It was one of those, it was like a fly, but like a tiny mini one. One of those ones that you can hardly see, like smaller than a mosquito. And as I was doing, I was thinking to myself, this is very Indonesian style. This is like protein, yeah, a bit of protein. Now, we all need a bit more protein in our lives, so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna eat it. And I did. Enjoyed the coffee too, loved it. When these sorts of things happen, it gets my mind racing onto all sorts of different themes. Another one of the themes from that is that there's a joke sort of in Indonesia, if you find a bug in your food, it's like protein tambahan, additional protein. So tambahan's a good word as well, it's like additional. You can actually say tamba as a direct instruction to someone. So you can ask someone to add something. So you could say tamba nasi, and that would be add rice. Yeah. But tambahan is like
additional.
And it's just a bit of a joke. If you get like something in your rice, like what they call a kutu beras, a little weevil or something like that, it's just a protein, tambahan. Yeah. But the other thing I thought about with that was that my kettle is a 2,200 watt kettle, or 2,400 watt. I think it's 2.2. It's a strong one anyway. It's an Aussie one. And the reason I got it is because when I first moved to Susan's house back all those years ago, she had a kettle, but it was like an Indonesian one. And geez, it took a long time. Like, I'd put a litre of water in it, and it would just take like 10 minutes to boil. It'd take ages to boil. And it was because it's low wattage, and a lot of those electrical products in Indonesia are purposely low wattage because a lot of people don't have the capacity in their houses to power large devices or strong devices. So even things like microwaves are a little bit lower wattage as well. Air conditioners are often lower wattage. So you've got to be careful what you buy, that it's not a low wattage device like this kettle was. So I thought, next time I go to Australia, I'm going to buy one and bring it back and just go with that. And I was so proud of myself to have this really nice Aussie kettle. And I plugged it in. I thought it should be okay, but I plugged it in and then I switched it on. Like, I hit click on it, like immediately it shorted out the system. Like, well, I don't know if shorted out is the right word, but the lights went off immediately. I'm just gonna have a quick look at Sindhu Beach Market because that's all being renovated at the moment. Let's have a quick look, see what's going on. Ah, yeah, here we go. Now they're saying space for rent, so look at this here. All these shops are being renovated. So remember the old market's a bit sort of run down, they're making new ones, and there aren't too many left for rent actually. So the ones at the front are obviously the more expensive ones. I think that's the front, is it? I think that might be the front. Anyway, that's what's going on in there. It's all a bit, well, it's been destroyed now and they're starting from scratch. It sort of did need a renovation, didn't it? So that's what we're looking at the moment. The end of an era. But that's progress, isn't it? That's progress. It'd be nice to see what that comes up like later, and I hope the ladies there can earn more money because of it, because they really do. They're loyal sort of sellers down here, and they really deserve the business, I guess. I mean, deserve's not a good word, but I would like to see them get a bit more business than they've been getting, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. So anyway, about that kettle, lights go off, and I immediately know what the issue is. Basically, houses in Indonesia are supplied with electricity from the grid at certain levels. So you don't get an unlimited supply of electricity, you get it based on the wattage. So the most basic one is 450 watts, and that's for the poor people. And the reason they have them staged like that is because your kilowatt per hour rate is a lot lower when you have a lower wattage. So 450, you have heavily subsidised rates. And then there's 900, and there's 1300, 2200, and I think 3500, 4400, goes up, up, up. And in that house, I had 2200 watts as my cap from the electricity company. And if you draw more than that, it shuts off the lights, which is what happened. So it's not like it was overloading the circuit or anything like that. Well, actually, it was overloading the circuit, but that wasn't why the switch flicked off. So I spoke to the electricity company and I said, look, can we upgrade to 3500 so I can run my kettle? They said, yeah, no problem. I said, do we have to look at the wiring inside the house, or are we still good to go? I can still put 3500 watts on that circuit inside the house. I said, yeah, no problem. Okay, they didn't even check the wiring, but anyway, I just thought, okay, I'll just do it. So I upgraded. It's like almost like a flick of the switch. They don't really need to do much, yeah? It's not like they had to come and rewire or anything like that. Well, in my case anyway, I got the 3500, plugged my kettle in, and it worked. Beautiful. But the funny thing is, I could smell something in the roof. I could smell an odd burning smell. It wasn't a normal burning smell. And it wasn't even what I expected a burning electricity smell to be like. It may have been burning plastic, like the insulation from the wiring melting or something, I don't know. Whatever it was a smell that didn't occur prior to me using that kettle, and now it was happening. And I had a suspicion that something was catching on fire in the roof. And it was, because it had melted all my wiring in the roof. So I had to go and rewire my house because the wiring was from such a long, long time ago. It's a wonder that it even handled the 2200 watts. It was so old and inadequate, yeah? So I rewired the house. I got some dude just to go and rewire everything. And then finally I was able to use my kettle without any issue. Although still, if I use the kettle, have the AC on, and then put the pump goes off, like I had two pumps, again the lights would go out. So luckily in my house here in Bali, I've got 7,700 watts and I've never tripped it yet. And I think that's a bit of a lesson, is that if you're living a Western lifestyle with Western appliances, you're going to need a lot more wattage than the ones that Indonesian might have. Those of you who saw my videos in West Java would remember a guy named Pak Gochi, the guy I went searching for, the old tukang of mine, the old tradesman of mine. And when I got to his house, he had 450 watts of power supplied to his house, which was able to run a small little fridge and a couple of lights. He was thankful for that, to be fair, because up until not long ago, he didn't even have electricity. So that's why they have these things. There's actually 3 rates of electricity for domestic use. Once you get above about 5,500 watts, you get put on the most expensive rate. It's about 2,000 rupiah per kilowatt hour. So about, yeah, it's cheap. It's cheap. And on those cheaper ones, it's really, really cheap. I mean, it's just a way of ensuring that rich people don't get the subsidies and that poor people do, which makes sense. So those people like Pak Gochi, I mean, they need all the help they can get. They've got nothing. Up until a few years ago, that was sort of the case with petrol as well. Everyone was able to get subsidised petrol, even if they are rich, they would still get subsidised petrol. Now there's a system for it where only people who have particular cards and all this sort of stuff can get subsidised petrol, and motorcycles can get subsidised petrol because they don't use much. But cars and stuff, yeah, they've put systems in place to really cut down on the rich people accessing those subsidies, because it's crazy. So Indonesia actually subsidises a lot of stuff here, mainly because they want to make sure that poor people don't die. So rice can be subsidised, and a lot of other staples are subsidised or price controlled. There's a lot of intervention by the government in a lot of markets for all sorts of different reasons. It's pretty complicated actually. For example, beef is a regulated market, and the reason is they want to get self-sufficiency in beef, but it's a problem when you've got a population of 280 million people. You can't really have enough cows. So some of those issues with live exports from Australia and so forth have been all focused on those quotas and subsidies and all that sort of stuff. So beef here is actually quite expensive because there's not a free import regime for that sort of stuff. It's the same with most agricultural products. For example, rice is not freely importable, or lots of grains are not freely importable. So it does keep the prices a little bit higher than it otherwise would be. And if the government wants to lower the price, they've actually got to subsidise it. It's quite complicated. I'm just going to go and get a shave here if I can at Gochi.
Hello.
Hello, Gochi.
How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Bagus, madam.
Panas ya?
Panas.
Yeah. I know I speak about Pak Gochi all the time, but I mean, you need to have a haircut and a shave every, few weeks or whatever. I do shave at home sometimes, but I don't know, when you come down to Pak Gochi, have a bit of a chat, I sort of prefer that a little bit. And I'm always down this area of town anyway, so I don't know, I just like it. So if you're in town, I think it's probably a good idea just to pop in anyway. Like, he does haircuts and shaves. A haircut's going to cost you 50. He's got a price list up here. Yeah, he'll even do a shampoo and a blow dry, but most of us old blokes don't have enough hair for a shampoo and blow dry. So unless you're gondrong with your long hair. Terima kasih Pak Gochi. Sampai jumpa. All right, let's keep going on. A bit warm now today. Like it's a weird day because if you look at the sky, it looks a little bit cloudy, but the sun's still busting through those clouds. It's only a thin layer of cloud, so it's still a little bit warm. A little bit humid. This morning, to be honest, it was quite cool. But as soon as that sun came out, it got a little bit warmer. It's nothing like it was like a month ago, but it's still, I mean, Bali's always hot, so what am I talking about? But yeah, it just feels a little bit warm walking around in this heat. I might actually walk to Padanggalak right now. It's about 4 kilometres, not that big a deal. So all it is a place that's north of the harbour here. So most people sort of would stop at the harbour. A lot of people don't even get as far as the harbour when they're walking along the beachfront path, but you can go further north. And that's what we're going to do today. Little cafe up there called Zavi, which I know a lot of people would love, but because it's out of the way, people wouldn't normally get there. But if you're on a bicycle, so easy to get that far on the path. So that's sort of what I have in mind when I'm thinking about going there, is that people on bicycle can get pretty long distances, I'd say. Even though I always whinge about how hot it is, a lot of people would say, oh, but you're already used to it. And it's a fair point. And I've been doing a bit of, my own research into how we adapt to heat in recent times, because I run in the heat, and sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's easy, and it's not just about how hot it is outside, it's also about what you've been doing the preceding couple of weeks. So I thought I'd go through that a little bit today because it's interesting. There's a bit of research out there on this that I've been able to sort of dig up, and it sort of indicates that if you can keep your core body temperature elevated for about 60 to 90 minutes per day over the course of 2 weeks, you can adapt to heat much, much better. And what adaptation really means is that the volume of the plasma in your blood increases, the ability to sweat sort of comes on a lot earlier, you don't sweat as much salt, you can get a lower heart rate at a similar effort, so you can walk like this and not have an elevated heart rate. So those sorts of adaptations come after about 2 weeks of doing this sort of exposure to heat. Now you don't want to go too full on with that because obviously it's dangerous to expose yourself too much to the heat. But I think if you come to Bali and you're coming for more than 2 weeks, after a couple of weeks, you can really get yourself adapted to the heat. But the main point is you've actually got to be out in it. You can't be stuck in an air-conditioned room all the time. And even if you go out for a walk for half an hour, rather than going straight back to an air-conditioned room, sitting in the shade afterwards can keep your body temperature elevated just that little bit longer, so you can adapt a little bit more, get that blood plasma volume up. And then it makes going out in the heat that much easier. Like, I do complain about it a lot, but I'm able to run in the heat, which I think was very difficult when I first moved to Bali. Running in this heat was very difficult, but now it's a lot easier, even though some days I do struggle, and that could be as a result of not having a good sleep or whatever. But I thought that was interesting to note. Heat adaptation. Past few times I've been out here, the waves have been pretty ordinary out here in Sanur, but at the moment, there's a nice little wave out here that I just saw a surfer go down, and it looked quite large. Even though the swell doesn't look too large out there, it was above head height. So it must be pretty good at the moment. I wish I knew more about waves and surfing, because I'd be able to give a better account of what's going on out there. But there are a few surfers out there, so it must be something happening, yeah. Cruising up all the new little eateries up here in the northern end of Sanur at Pantai, Bangsal area, towards the harbour really. I actually think it's a pretty good area. Like, people love it. Locals love it more than foreigners, of course. But there's even a lot of foreigners here, honestly. There seems to be a bit more work going on over here as well, which is interesting. I'm not sure what they're doing. New monument dedicated towards the fishermen of the area. Try and get around the back here without getting done by the construction work, I think. Interesting, they're building a little pavilion over there, which is associated more with Java than Bali, the roof styling I'm talking about, which is interesting. So at the end of those new eateries, the path sort of stops and it kind of joins up to this. You've just got to get to this part of the path, which is sort of the one that goes out the front of the harbour. So you've got to get to this first to keep going further north. So if you're running or cycling, you just need to join up with this. That's how the harbour's looking today. The building still looking in pretty good shape. Just it gets busy these days though, like really just incredibly busy. The actual harbour itself is here. Yeah, there aren't too many boats there at the moment. But inside that building, it just gets really just crowded and busy and chaotic. It's okay, but it's just because there are so many more people going to the islands these days than ever before. Obviously on a bicycle, you have to wheel it up that little ramp there. And looks like they've made a makeshift dump here. People have been dumping all the rubbish here and now it's being burnt off in a makeshift dump. Oh, that's a disgrace, isn't it? That is an absolute disgrace. There's some sort of rubbish management going on over there as well. What is this place? Oh, I don't know. Bali is just full of surprises, isn't it? Well, it's not. It's actually not even surprising. Once you get over this little section, you're on a sort of a home run all the way up to Padang Galak. I mean, we're almost in what you would call Padang Galak now. It's just a really long area. So you can see this. This is the Batas Wilayah Desa Kasiman Petilan. So it's the boundary of the new village here. And an interesting sign. Do not park along this footpath, and it is forbidden to be throwing rubbish anywhere around here. So they've obviously been having people just throwing rubbish around the place. That's all to do with what's going on with the rubbish situation on the island at the moment, which is, still hasn't been resolved. There are improvements, there are things happening, but it just takes time. And we'll see what happens in the future. Most people aren't going to encounter these rubbish issues when they come here on holiday, but if you're a resident, you're sort of butting up against some of these issues now. If you can't be bothered going all the way up, there are little warungs all around like that where you can get a little local coffee there. It'll be really cheap. And they're pretty cool actually, just a little place to have a coffee. You know what? I might actually have a coffee here rather than go up to one of those modern places. Oh, there's a cat. Because I just can't be bothered going up there when I see a little warung like this where I can get...
Warung Yande.
Warung Yande.
Yeah.
Bagus ya warungnya. Masih asli. Yeah. So I might actually get... Aku asli dari Australia.
Australia?
Ya. Ini punya ibu?
Ya. Jande my husband.
Aku mau pesannya ya, Bu. Ada apa?
Habis pisang.
Pesan.
Oh, pesan. Oh, sorry.
Bukan pisang. Logat saya mungkin kurang jelas ya.
Ini not good maybe.
Ya. Kalau minum kopi, Bu, kopi susu. Berapa itu biasanya, Bu?
5.000.
5.000 ya, kopi susu saja. Kopi susu satu, terus ada yang dingin kayak Pocari Sweat ada. Oh ya, satu yang besar, yang satu besar juga. Oke, aku duduk di belakang ya. Harus
silakan.
lepaskan sepatu.
Tidak apa.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have to get my shoes off. Apparently, I'm going in. Look at this little place here. Oh, kucing. Permisi ya. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Back here. The dudes are in the back having a little coffee down the bed, eating peanuts. I'm going to sit down at this little table, little lesehan style. Love it. Lagi apa, Pak? Nongkrong aja. Nongkrong makan kacang, minum ngopi. Ya, aku juga mau. Is a crew here? Hello. Nongkrong juga ya. This is a really cool place, the Nongkrong. Love it here. Didn't even know it existed. Oh. Boleh nongkrong. It's actually what I really love about Bali is that there are a whole range of experiences that you can have here, from the very local to the very stylish and very luxury. I actually like all of those experiences. Of course, I'm drawn more towards these local experiences because I find that as I get older and older, that character in a place really gives me more enjoyment than just flavour. Character is so important for me, and style and atmosphere is just really important for me. So just hanging out at this place with all these locals and having a local coffee, and it's only 5,000. Like, the price for me just confirms everything about the place, that it's a real deal local place with a lot of character. You know, it's often these real cheap places that you enjoy the most. Yeah, that is a hot one for you. The more I sit at a place like this and overlook the beach, and there's a little soccer field in the sand over there, and I just listen to the locals having a chat, eating peanuts, drinking coffee, talking crap like we all do. The more I just love this. I've been past here quite a few times before, but sometimes it's just head down and you don't see things, even though you're passing them. And I almost passed them straight by this time, honestly. It's interesting, and now that I'm here, I'm just so glad I made it. In fact, for me, it makes my whole morning. I just love it. I love it. Having said that, if you're on a bicycle and you are able to get far, this is a place that I really recommend you come to go and get a little instant coffee from the lady here. 5,000 rupiah. Might even be cheaper if you get something else. A cold drink that they've got in the fridge there. You can even get a beer or a coconut, even though it's a local place, and you're going to love it. You are going to love it. Just sit on the floor like I am here. They do have some seats, but they're all taken at the moment. And if you dare to go further, which is what my plan was today, but I never got around to it, is to go to Padanggalak, and there's a bakery up there, which I'll drop the name of, Zavi Croissantry or something like that. Basically a bakery, Zavi Bakery. Go there, maybe go up to Padanggalak, have a look at that abandoned theme park, which you can go and have a bit of a squiz around. It's pretty interesting and creepy. And there's also a little monument commemorating an aeroplane crash up there as well. I will get up there again in the future to show you around a little bit more, but I just don't have time this morning now that I've sat down here and getting stuck into a coffee. I mean, that's just about it for me today here in Sanur. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur and the rest of Indonesia. I'll catch you next time, and sampai jumpa.